Hello. Welcome to a special Thursday night, Monday Night MegaMek. My life has been a little bit chaotic lately, and I've been unable to be home with my streaming setup to stream on Mondays. And it looks like it's going to be like that for a bit going forward. So, starting next week, I might just be switching over to Thursday Night MegaMek. I will make a post about that. Mondays are probably going to be bad for the foreseeable future, but regardless, welcome. We are going to be picking up in just a second on the Emerald Cast Mercenary Forces as they make their way through the Inner Sphere. Currently, we are still on a contract defending a planet in the Lyran Commonwealth against the Draconis Combine Mustard Soldiery. Last time we played two missions. The first, we fought the DCMS on a rather large sort of battlefield where they had mercenary support from the Death Kangaroos. Now, I don't know if you know about them, but they are sort of infantry forces, mounted infantry on giant kangaroos. Yes, kangaroos is in the animal from Australia, but in space and mounted by guys with laser guns. We kind of kicked their ass. And after which, Sherry Hopscotch actually managed to jump into the middle of the field and literally kick people riding kangaroos and send them flying. So quite an interesting time there. In the second mission we played, we went up against a downed dropship. And despite my goal and my intention to try and leave the dropship mostly intact because they're worth so much money, despite that, it has so much firepower, we could not let that thing sit. And our allies actually showed up, and I believe they got the final killing blow, but once the dropship was down, mopping up the remaining forces was not a challenge. So, I don't know if you saw from the pre-show, we have done a slight change up here where we have a new pilot joining us. But before we get into that, if anyone is familiar with MegaMek, paying attention to announcements, the people who make MegaMek, which is MegaMek, MegaMek Lab, and Mech HQ, the program that we are largely playing here, they have released MechBay, which is mechbay.com. MEKBAY. It is a platform that allows digital record keeping for actual play of BattleTech. You can see here I have pulled up one of my favorite mechs used in competition here, the Turkina C. Take a peek here at the functionality. Now, personally, I like my sheets to have the picture of the mech on the sheet. I don't really need the hit location table here. Hello! I don't really want the hit location or cluster table here just because I have those tables. I don't need those tables on every single sheet. I like being able to quickly flip through and know the mech I'm looking at just from the picture on the sheet. However, this is very useful in terms of this functionality. If you look here, you can just click on the location. There's a little wheel that pops up, and you can deal the damage. Whoop. 13 damage. Look at that. You can declare fire. You can go through. You can knock out critical hits. And the effects show up on the tables here. Look at that. All right. Shows you the BV. You adjust the skills. It adjusts the BV for you. This is fantastic. And there is, I believe, an option to print your force right from here, so you don't have to load up MegaMek or MegaMek Lab and go through all of these interesting function things. You can just kind of do it here. Now, actually, I didn't look if you can switch alternate ammo. Is it the E I like? No, it's not the E. Is it the D? Yes, add. Let's take a look here. See, we have SRM6 ammo. We can crit, set ammo. Oh, look at this. Oh, you can switch to all the different kinds. Now, I always say double check with your organizer in your local format and see what is actually allowed and legal in terms of alternate ammo. Some ammo, particularly for clan mechs, you can see a clan version of the special ammo, even though by standard game rules those don't actually exist. It's kind of an interesting thing and something to be careful. One of the sort of problems I have with MegaMek as a organizer, but beyond that, right into MegaMek. Pariah, misspelling the pariah. Yeah, pariah, piranha. I like the piranha. It's sort of like a fast mobile unit with all those machine guns as a critical hit seeker. So our new pilot. Let's go to our personnel here. So what I've realized is the personality of Arso. He's kind of a jackass. You know, he's manipulative. Don't really like him, and he hasn't been doing us very well to begin anyway. So he was gone. We had a guy named his code Doc here. Yes, we had Doc for a little bit, but reading his characteristics and who he is, also not a guy we like. So I sort of waived our normal reluctance on hiring to stick with our sort of RPG cast, just because it's an RPG reason. We don't like them. They're kind of manipulative. Spend enough time with them, give them the boot. We found Edith, who has no patience for nonsense, cuts through distractions and motions, keeping her mind locked onto the mission. She is dedicated. She's a dedicated mech warrior, ready to fight, and is not here to manipulate for personal gain and all this other stuff that we, as our main character being a clanner, does not appreciate. Give me 1 second here. I got a new microphone arm because my last one broke, and I'm still kind of like, it's supposed to be an expensive, nice one, but I'm not actually sure if I like it or not. All right, now a bunch of our pilots got injured in the last mission. So we have in red here, Ergun, Gordana, and Sherry are all in the infirmary. And everything's being repaired. We are just picking up where we left off after that mission. Now, if you've noticed, I set the text and the user interface up to 200%. There have been some comments of people who have been struggling to see as we go along. I've tried to make things as large as possible without actually breaking the interface. I will be trying to read things out that are important. I am going to try and reutilize a custom script that allows a zoom in on the mouse feature so that I can hit a button and zoom in and show that, but trying to make that work today did not work. Oh, the Pariah A has 2 ATM-12s and a 6. It's a society mech. Are those improved ATM-12s? Because those are the most broken weapons in the game. They are just terrifying things. Improved ATMs are horrifying things. We're going to advance the day and let our people heal and let repairs happen. Now, let's double check here in our hangar. We have extra Crusaders. Extra Crusaders means we can actually, I also think we have extra mech techs. But let's check here. Let's make sure we can assign. We do not want a veteran tech assigned to that, so we have you, Phoenix Hawk, awesome. Let's tech veteran, assign veteran there, assign person tech regular there. So we don't have extra techs. So what I might do is in the personnel market, if we see a mech tech pop up, yeah, we can see the scale on things are a little weird. Battle armor pilot. See if we can pop. There we go. Make this a larger. So here, mech tech. We're going to hire this guy. We are going to go in and do something we haven't done before, which is in the hangar. We're going to take Crusader CRD-3R number 2. Undamaged. We're not using it. It is extra. We just brought in an extra mech tech by the name of, oh, he's got an interesting name. Let's double check this here. Go to the bottom here. Lizuku. then again, this is the Pariah. It doesn't have improved ATMs, but it is a clan mech. So yeah, Omnipods. So if it's a clan Omni, it does have pods, which are fantastic for things like Mech HQ or ongoing sort of campaign narrative play for swapping out weapons. Doesn't actually make all that much of a difference for competitive play and stock sort of things. But in any case, we're going to right click and we are going to customize in the Mech Lab. Ta-da! So Mech HQ has its own sort of miniature Mech Lab that opens up when you're customizing something. It's not quite the same, but has the same functionality as the MegaMek Lab in the suite. So whatever we do, we're going to have to likely order parts for it. Now I'm going to set introductory to standard and see what we can do here. First of all, what do we want to do? I think the LRM-15s, as much as they are kind of a signature weapon for this thing, they don't do much good. Inner Sphere LRMs have that 6 hex minimum range, and it does not end up doing us very good here. So we have freed up a bunch of tonnage here, getting rid of those. And I want to throw PPC on. I like PPCs. And then a whole bunch of heat sinks. 10 is not enough. We want at least 12 so that we can run and shoot, but we also have 2 medium lasers, and I would want to shoot those. So let's rock this up to 1864. We have 1 ton left. We have a single machine. How many machine guns do we have here? Let's resize this. So we have 2 machine guns and ammo there. We have SRM-6, SRM ammo. I think I want Inferno ammo. Gambit Raven, we just started doing custom pilots for our tabletop group. Yeah, custom pilots are great. I love narrative campaigns. I'm playing as part of a Time of War campaign myself. It's definitely fun and interesting. It just depends on how much RPG versus how much sort of kind of chaos campaign elements you're going. A Time of War, I think, is my preferred full-on RPG where you have missions and things you will do outside of your mechs. If you're just playing in your mechs, chaos campaign and other various things have a way to upgrade. And the main thing I'll mention is to be careful with SPA, special pilot abilities. Just like in MegaMek and Mech HQ here, some of them are broken. Absolutely broken. And it'll be up to your fellow players, your organizer, or your game master to really kind of make that balance work. Alright, so what we did here is we removed the LRM-15s, strapped on a PPC, and gave it a lot more heat sinks, as well as a 2nd ton of ammo for its SRM-6s, but this is Inferno. Now, we have to assign the criticals for this. See how those torsos are empty? I do not like that. That is a recipe for explodiums. You'll get a critical hit in the torso, which will then go right into the center torso, in which case you have ammo there. That's no good. We're going to get rid of the leg missiles. I know leg missiles are kind of like a signature thing about Crusaders, but just no. We're going to pop the Inferno and the SRM ammo. I like having SRM ammo with the SRMs. Makes sense to me. Medium laser machine gun. And you know what? We're going to pop the PPC onto the right torso. Heat sinks. I kind of like making these even. I like heat sinks in the feet. Particularly if you're playing intro tech. Always put heat sinks in the feet, because that way when you're standing in water, they get double effectiveness. So you effectively add here an extra 4 heat sinking capacity onto your mech when it's in water. That's great. Alright, heat 2618. We can begin refit. Begin refit. And we need to find the guy we just hired. Boom. Boom. Ooh. We're going to call this the Crusader 3R Mark II. No. We're going to call this the Crusader... Oh, we're the Emerald Cast. EC1. Boom. This is a Class D maintenance refund. Are you sure you want to refreight the Crusader 3R2? Yes. So we are customizing our first mech for this campaign. The human TRO is good, not completely broken, but pilots have a retirement cap, and SPAs can be purchased at SPA cost times number of SPAs. Oh, so a cumulative increase in cost for each SPA. I like that. Human TRO, I love it. I play with it a lot in various Mech HQ campaigns, because that, at least in Mech HQ, it's a +1 to critical hit checks, and oh gosh, that makes critical on specific mechs that really get cluster hits, that really try to get those critical hits. It is so nice. Or you can combine it with armor piercing ammo in certain eras, and oof, it's nice. All right, we are going to continue on advancing the day, salvaging and working on the mechs. Important to check every once in a while and make sure if there's something that the instant mass repair salvage, that sort of command at the beginning of the day, if there's something that's too difficult for the way we have it set, it won't get done. So it's still important to check that every once in a while. Turnover check. Continue. Target numbers. We are just fine, and that's going to cost us, oh, not even 2 grand of C-bills. Don't care. Everybody stays. The normal sort of message here about delivery, if we had our own convoy, which is something we should try to do at some point. Yeah, we have 12 million C-bills. We can actually start working on getting our own sort of resource convoy here. So we're going to refuse, we're going to set balance, we're going to accept that, yada yada. Payday. We get not much. Yeah, I think part of the problem with this contract is I accepted it after we had already added a bunch of stuff so that when the contracts didn't renew at the beginning of the month, and it was still assumed we had a lot fewer forces than we did, so the pay was less than we would have gotten otherwise. Something that we can talk about when we're actually done with this contract. So let's actually take a look at that. This contract ends, yeah, less than a year from now, so we're going to keep going. Oh, yeah. Yeah, ejection can really destroy pilots, and edge is very important. All right. You know, we do have a lot of money here, so we're going to show vehicles. Not mechs. Alright, so what we're looking for is cargo capacity. 1 ton. Nope. Heavy wheel APC. 3 tons. Nope. And no. Yeah. So if we're trying to build a convoy, we want, well, cargo capacity, and I'm not seeing anything here that's particularly interesting. So, and we'd still have to hire people to man the vehicles anyway if we got them. And we already played a mission this month. We might actually be relatively safe to move on to the next month. Check on the repair bay. Yeah, we're personnel. Everybody's healed. We are in good shape here for the next time a mission pops up. Turnover check. We just did one of these. We're totally fine. New month. Here we go. Here's something new. Captain, I need to bring an important development to your attention regarding the prisoners we've captured during this operation. An enemy officer has reached out through official channels with an offer to ransom back their personnel. They're willing to pay 20,000 sea bills for the pilot. Sure. Like, our employers should be the ones handling the prisoners anyway, so. Unit market. I want to spend money on a convoy. Come on, let me click it. There we go. Yeah, we want list self-propelled artillery. Oh. Do we want artillery? Yes. Am I going to do that right now? No. Largely because reasons. Maximum heavy hover transport. Excellent. Cargo space. What do you got? 3 tons. Oh, 1 million steel bills. Yeah, we're gonna buy it. And personnel. We need... Do we have a mechanic? It's support personnel. There we go. MechTech, Evan, mechanic. We do have a mechanic. We have 2 mechanics, actually. Excellent. So what we need are vehicle crew member, vehicle driver. I'm not overly concerned about the skill of these individual people. We do not need an elite vehicle driver. We have a driver. I think we need a gunner. Tech mechanic, leadership 5, vehicle crew member. But that means in the hangar here, all units. Hover transport. To deliver in 35 days. So we don't have to worry about that just yet. Captain, long-range sensors have detected enemy activity within our area of operations. Allied commanders requested to resolve the situation. No combat teams. Alright, so a mission popped up and we didn't handle it, so... Interception defense. I think all our guys are healed. Take a look at it here. Oh, it's important. Checking the weather. Light. Daylight. Weather. Clear. Wind. Light gale. Excellent conditions. Enemy forces are on the move, heading towards an unknown objective, and we cannot allow them to reach their destination. Their intent remains unclear, but their movement suggests a high-value mission. Your objective is to intercept and engage the enemy, destroying at least 50% of their forces before they can escape via the opposite edge of the engagement zone. Expect the enemy to favor speed and mobility, avoiding prolonged engagements as they push towards their objective. Deny them their escape route, break their formation, and ensure they do not reach their goal intact. They may attempt to punch through with concentrated force, or use diversionary tactics to slip past your defenses. Anticipate their maneuvers and shut them down. We will control the battlefield at the end of the engagement, securing any remaining assets and preventing any further movement from enemy reinforcements. This mission is about disruption and dominance, cripple their forces, seize the field, and ensure that whatever they were planning never comes to pass. Your employer has deployed you alongside an integrated force, comm center. Additional allied ground forces are approaching the area. Now, this comm center thing, I don't think I specifically mentioned it before, but as part of Mech HQ in their this sort of area of operations, this part of the, I forget what it's called in terms of like this form of the campaign, but see how there's the Allied Comm Center here? That is a building that you have to sort of try and maintain, and it gives you that continual bonus of, you know, allied reinforcements during your game. But we're gonna right click, manage the deployment, and we are going to send our command lance in. Now we have the option to send reinforcements here. This is something we haven't really had to bother to do or consider because our main lance has been both pretty solid, and also we haven't really had the need for reinforcements or the ability to do it. But now that we have this sort of training force, we could add up to 1,500 BV of reinforcements into our thing here, but we don't think we need that. We're not going to bother. Go back to the briefing here. Yeah, we have command lance here. Our command lance is a total BV of 6,637. We have allies starting with us about 2,242. And we have allies coming at 4,000. They have 10,000 BV coming at us. We have approximately 8,000, 9,000. But as a, human player, we're generally going to be better than the AI, and we hopefully have a more cohesive force here. So I think we stand a good chance, all things considered. Now, important to note, they started the south. Whoop. This is just the... Look at that big old face. Setting the user interface to 200%. So this is the same description that I've already read. So we're going to hit the pause screen here to make sure that it can load. Yada yada. Gambit Raven also doing a thing where once you spend a number of character points, they earn a bounty victory point. It's kind of, yeah. So is this one of those hinterland sort of like ongoing mercenary contract things? Is it similar to that? Because I do kind of like the concept of if you have a very experienced pilot on your side, it acts as an extra victory condition for your opponent, particularly if they are not quite up to the same sort of number of missions and things that have been played. So that's a cool concept. Ooh, can I react? Alright. MegaMek is loaded up here. Everything looks alright. We are starting in the center. Our allies are starting northwest and this. Alright, so the reinforcements are northwest. That's nice. Alright. Our starting with us allies start center, and all of their stuff starts to the south. So we have some cool stuff going here. Alright, don't need to bother reading off our initiative. Our allies, the extra forces, show up on round 8 here. So we've got a ways to go before they get into a good position to help us. So, done. Very narrow map. And we have this long sort of corridor. Ooh, depth 1. We want our awesome in the depth 1. Get the little extra heat capacity there. Boom. Osrock. Well, here's the next question. Systems, right leg, heat sink, left leg, heat sink. Why do you have heat sinks anywhere? Do you have it? Okay, there you go. Heat sink at the head. Why? Move it to a leg. But you are a ridiculous laser boat. I'm putting you also in water. Alright. Marauder. I think I'm going to put you there. No. Can't put you there. I'm going to put you there to try to get him into partial cover with a movement of 3 hexes. That's my goal for the first turn for him. And the Crusader Hopscotch. You're going to pop you there. You're going to move 1 hex forward and have partial cover for the most part against everything. And, I don't know, try to run forward and kick things. Because that's what she does. Deploy. First turn of real combat. We win initiative. Excellent. And the best thing about this awesome where it is. Now let's just double check. I'm assuming it has heat sinks to the legs, and it does. Now you notice when you go to the weapons tab here, these little weapon tabs here, I realize it's still very tiny, but this is not scaling with the rest of everything else. I'm hoping everything else here is easier to see. Heat buildup 0, 28, brackets 32. That is the extra effect of being in water. Lovely. Lovely for Intertech. Also, it's just going to skip movement. Also, a little peek here. I'm going to turn off the borders here. This is full on MegaMek. I just figured you guys don't need to see all of the little constant buttons. You don't need to see the because it's mostly just commands anyway. Most thing you need to do is just the end movement command. All right, 1, 2, 3, boom. Control Enter is the skip, is the accept movement, or Control Shift Enter for skip movement. Banana peel. There you go. Now, as we get into firing here, let's take a look at our opponents. We have a Locust, Silver Eagle, 4/5. We have a bunch of guys here. Trumpet the Dragon as a 4/5. Important note, the ammo here. Swarm for the LRM-10, Flak and Standard for the AC-5. We have Hardcase, the Longbow. Now, that is an 85-ton mech with lots and lots and lots and lots of missiles, and if there's something I want to salvage on this board, it is that. That is the thing I would want to salvage out of everything else that's here. So, but also note, Swarm. Swarm missiles are missiles that if they miss, or even if they hit, whatever missiles are left will try to continue on and move towards a second target. In terms of if you have a concentrated group of units, they can be really devastating. Thunder leaves mines. Standard is standard. Anti-TSM just leaves like a green smoke and disables TSM. It's completely worthless. Kevlar and the rifleman here, the 60-ton rifleman. 5/6. Okay, Kevlar is not a threat. And what was Hardcase anyway? 3/4. Okay, Hardcase, the assault mech with all the missiles. This is our biggest, most important target, and I just realized I forgot to set victory conditions, but we are going to have to manually keep track of BB destroyed to make sure that we keep that. 5/6 in another rifleman. So Forward and Kevlar are two 5/6 riflemen. They are awful, not too much of a concern. Permafrost in an urban mech. Ooh. 4/5 with just an AC-10. And then we have Zinger 4/5 vehicle with nothing. So conventional infantry, not much to write home about. So really the scariest thing they have on their board right now is this longbow. That's a 3/4. That's the problem. Everything else is pretty easy to deal with. In which case, I mean, Silver Eagle is what? Machine gun. Now, also have to remember, they're trying to run past us. They are on a forced withdraw, meaning they are going to be forced to always try to move to the opposite edge. And this is a very long map. We kind of started to the center, but we deployed all the way down here. So, as much as I would like to try to shoot at some of the, higher priority targets, we actually definitely need to shoot at the stuff that's closer up. So we're going to change the weapon order to damage high-low, and at this guy here we're going to fire the PPCs and the LB on solid shot. Ooh, I only have 5 shots of that. No, we're going to fire a cluster. Done firing. Banana peel. Alright, we're going to go damage high-low, range high-low. There we go. We want the LRM-15s at the top because, hey, look, Silver Eagle here is in perfect short range of the LRM-15. So, going to hit F for fire and F for fire, and then Control Enter for done firing. Hopscotch, you don't have a working SRM-4 right now because I guess you weren't fully repaired, but you have a total heat capacity of 17. You can fire both of your large lasers. Boom. Boom. Done. And our favorite here, the Awesome, which is awesome. And again, so Silver Eagle is a Locust. I don't feel comfortable putting more firepower into the Locust because it might just die, and we can always make a second shot at it. So I'm not overly concerned here. Hold on, let's actually adjust that. Interesting. This has changed a little bit, I think, because it changed the UI scaling. This sort of like this calling card up here in the upper right isn't quite working. So I am just going to turn that off for now. I will adjust and figure that out later. All right. Back to the awesome. Shooting at... We need to figure out which of these opponents is the fastest here. So we have a 5.8, 4.6, 4.6, 3.5. I think it's going to be more important to shoot at Trumpet right now and try to get the damage off on him before he can run away. Done firing. Alright, anything important. Right arm, so air gun fires, destroys the right arm of the Locust, into the right torso, 3 damage to the right torso, nothing else. PPC missed. Alright, LB-10 cluster does hit. We have a 6 pellets hit. We hit the head, the left leg. The head hit, 1 total hits, needs a 3 to stay conscious. It stays conscious, so that could have been better, could have been worse. Lots of misses, so we have Banana Peel hit with an LRM-15, but only deal 2 damage because of the glancing blow. Scroll down. AC-5 hits us, that's 5 damage, that's not a big deal. 5 damage, not a big deal. Large laser, not a big deal. Then we have Hopscotch with a large laser. Hits, there we go. Hits, glancing blow. Okay, forearm, armor destroyed, 2 critical. That's, okay, whatever. The second large laser does hit, hits the right arm, goes through, hits the right torso. 2 internal structure remaining. 2 critical hit rolls, double gyro. That thing is falling and not going to be able to get back up again, basically. A couple. So yeah, here we go. Awesome. Our newest recruit here makes some shots and. Excuse me a second. Hits for glancing blow and hits for full. Nothing major to report. Return damage. Nope. The scary longbow shoots at our allies and hits for a good amount. That's a lot of damage text. Here we go. Yep. Banana Peel took more than 20 damage, and what do you know? Banana Peel falls. Surprise! Thunderbolt, our ally. Now our ally is a 6, yeah. So, good point. We should take a look at our allies. Heat, nothing to report. Turn, we won initiative. Well, let's take a second to go look at our allies. So we have here Iridescent. Nope, I'm not gonna want that. You have Iridescent and a Thunderbolt. Oop. You have Iridescent and a Thunderbolt. 4-5. Oh, look! Our ally is a 4-5 and not a 5-6. That's an improvement. Or taking a head hit, though. Swarm missiles. Yeah. And Lever. Lever or Lever, the rifleman. There we go. There's the 5-6. So that is the equivalent of their guys. I forget their names. Kevlar and Forward. Kevlar, Forward, and Lever. They're all 5-6 riflemen. Alright. In any case, Marauders in partial cover going to stand still, because we are just going to try these guys. We are going to do movement. Let's see if we can see her go back up, turn, stand. Here we go. I can right click and careful stand. It's going to let me. No? There we go. Careful stand, needed 3. Go ahead and do it, Banana Peel. Just need you to stand up. Hopscotch, skip movement. Awesome, skip movement. There we go. The Locust ejects. Like 2 gyro hits, the mech is crippled. It's probably gonna do that. Alright. So I think we're actually gonna start with the awesome here. And look at that. Look at those things in short range. You were previously shooting at Trumpet. Now Trumpet is going to try to run past us. It's the fastest thing here. It's the thing to be most concerned about. And yeah, highest TMM. That's still a 7. That's still a 50% chance. So boom, boom, boom. We're going after it. Done. Next, let's go right up to Hopscotch. We've got a lot of stuff in short range, including Trumpet again. And I think actually, yeah, we're looking at 58% versus this. Alright, damage, high-low, large laser. I mean, on a 72% chance, that's just real nice. That's a real good chance. We are going to go, and we're going to overheat a little. Done fire. And here we have Ergun, who has the best shot on Trumpet right now, because Trumpet doesn't have partial cover from him. I wish the riflemen were... If the riflemen were all on one side, I think they'd be the Three Stooges. But because we have one of them, I don't know. If the Three Stooges have a falling out and one of them came to the Lyran Commonwealth? Because if so, we found one. Alright, Marauder. Yeah, we're going to shoot at Trumpet. Trumpet might have some armor open up. We're going to fire Cluster, and we're going to gain a little bit of heat to make those shots. Banana Peel. I want you shooting at Queenie. Now, obviously not the LRMs. So we are going to go damage high-low, and we're going to go medium laser. Medium laser. Machine guns are 11, but we're going to fire them anyway. And SRMs in the legs because we can't kick. Fire. That puts us over heat, and we're going to overheat more. 7 over is just fine. Done firing. Let's see what happens here. AC2s, oh no. PPC, hit. Great. Alright, we got a glancing blow on an AC5 against Ergun. We have a full hit. Nothing too concerning at the moment. Hopscotch hits with both large lasers, misses with a medium. Just sort of like plinking off armor here. We're playing Plinko. Plink, plink, plink. Large laser hits Banana Peel. Another large laser hits Banana Peel. She's staying still. We're just depending on the partial cover to increase the evasiveness a little bit, as well as when you're behind partial cover, any shots that would hit your legs instead hit the cover. So it's not a bad spot to take over here. So Marauder Ergun shoots at the dragon, hits with the PPC, strips the armor on the left arm. Then we have, here we go, the cluster. We hit with 8 pellets of the 10. That is a good roll. We get rid of the hand, the laser on the left arm. We get another hit on the left arm, knocking up the lower arm and upper arm. Now, that's nice. That's kind of really hurting that arm, but it's offensive. It doesn't slow it down, because that's what we really want. And strip the armor from the left torso. So that thing is not in good shape. Trumpet is not in good shape, but it's not down just yet. Now we have Banana Peel shooting at Queenie, the rifleman. Damage to the leg, internal, no crit. Damage to the leg, internal, no crit. Come on, Banana Peel. What we need is a crit. All right, you have your SRMs firing. You have all these chances. There you go. There you go. It took her, was it 4, 5 chances on that leg to actually get a critical that mattered, but we got it. That rifleman has a foot crit. It's going to make it more difficult to move. Weapons fire for Trumpet. Hits. Then we have our hard case. This is our foe. This is our difficult thing. Firing everything at Ergun. And here we have it here. This is the advantage of partial cover. See, 7th, we have no damage, right leg behind cover. No damage, right leg behind cover. So that's 10 damage lost just to partial cover here. Now, Ergun took over 20 damage, so makes a piloting roll. Needs a 3, rolls a 4, totally fine. Trumpet falls over. doesn't take piloting hit. Then we have the rifleman here. Falls, takes damage, takes a piloting hit, but is still conscious. Okay. That's a pretty good round for us. We're taking some damage, but we are dishing out way more damage than we're receiving. Yeah, see, 97, 91. We're doing all right. All right. Awesome. You can skip movement. You're fine. I think Ostrak, you barely take anything. You're going to stay still. You're totally fine. Control Shift Enter is just skip movement and stand still. Banana Peel. We're going to save you. Let's let our allies move. Alright, the allies have all moved. We want to see... Here we go. Banana Peel. You are, in fact, going to want to do that. You have enough heat, so your movement is slower. You definitely don't want to stay here and get potentially kicked in the face by Kevlar. And Kevlar is a 5/6, so not particularly good at kicking anyway. But we want to kick it. Very important that we want to kick it, because at a 6 piloting, it is likely to miss and likely to fall. And Ergun. This is the line for partial cover. So we still have partial cover from hard case. That's the more important thing. We do not have partial cover from anything over here. So I'm actually going to move 1. This is still a walk. I think it's worth it to move 1 to gain that partial cover from all of these guys, just to be sure. Boom. Nothing, no rolls to report on from the movement phase. We are getting right into the shooting phase here. And we are getting to the point of, alright, Trumpet is in a position to try to kick our awesome, which is not awesome. I don't like that. The awesome, its PPCs have minimum range, so it can't shoot back at Trumpet here. But it can shoot at, well, just about anything else it wants. So we want Banana Peel to try to kick Queenie, because that's what she does. She has fun doing that. Ooh! We missed somebody. Galileo and Ostsoul. That is a 4/5. That is a 5/8. That thing is going to be pretty fast, and I kind of need to shoot at it a little bit before it gets out of range here. So I kind of need to turn and shoot at it. Now, by the time it gets up to the top, it might be running into our allied reinforcements, and in which case, Concentrator Fire will eliminate it. But I want to do as much as I can myself. So boom, boom, boom. Done. Ergun's going to try to take out Trumpet here. I mean, it's partially open. Or, you know what? Let's wait on that. Let's skip to somebody else here. The Ostrak. Ostrak, I think you are going to go after... I think you're going to go after Trumpet. You're going to cool off a little bit since you fired a lot last turn, but this either are some good shots, could strip some more armor off of Trumpet, which means if Ergun shoots, because we have that cluster weapon, we have a good chance of really dealing some nasty damage to it. Now, 81 medium laser, I'll save it. I don't want to go too much overheat, because I got to deal with the hard case after this. So we're going to call that all those shots. Now, all right, Banana Peel, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is, well, we know you, Gordana. You are relentless. You are aggressive. What are you going to do? You're going to keep going after Queenie. Queenie's right in front of you. So medium lasers. That keeps you overheating. No, we don't want the medium lasers. We want the SRMs. One SRM. And obviously got to fire the machine guns. Boom. There we go. Done firing. So all of our shots. Here we go. Ammo explosion on Trumpet from Hopscotch. That kills it. Sadly, that also means all of our shots from air gun are kind of worthless, and it also means basically no salvage from that thing. I mean, just look at all that text. That is a wall of text that just says destroyed. Keep going. A couple of hits on our boys, nothing significant to report. I mean, air gun hits, does some damage to the dragon, but it doesn't matter. Trumpet is already destroyed, already ejected. Rifleman head hit, re-rolled. Perfect. We have edge for that exact purpose. Here we go. Banana peel. Gordana. Making shots here on Queenie. We have right torso, lost the middle. There's no more critical hit slots, which means any further critical hits will transfer, but we don't get any. Machine guns. So, okay, hits with the one gun, deals some damage, nothing too major, but she still has a kick, and still has plenty of armor remaining. Our allies make some shots on Queenie, destroys the right leg. Queenie's gonna fall. Yada yada. Longbow firing at Banana Peel. Armor destroyed, critical hit on the right arm. That's not good. But there isn't much in the arm, so that's too important, so we're okay. Queenie falls automatically. 2 hits, stays conscious. Alright. Now we want to get that kick. Now here's the problem. We have a kick on Queenie here. Or Kevlar. What's the kick on Kevlar? A 6? Kick on Queenie is a 3. But Queenie is already prone. Kevlar is probably going to be kicked by Iridescent. Oh, I think we have to actually turn... No, we don't. Remember, this is Gordana Banana Peel. She is overly aggressive and she wants to take Queenie down. That's what she's going to do. She's going to kick the already down thing. And she hits and hits the large laser and damages AC5. And we have our ally in the Thunderbolt. Knock out a hip on that leg, so that rifleman is going to be falling over. Physical attack, we have a critical hit on the left leg to Banana Peel. So Banana Peel could fall and didn't. Banana Peel didn't fall. She had a chance to fall, and she didn't. Fantastic. Kevlar does fall. Alright, we are in good shape here. Use deploy, check our BV. We're at 95. They're at 76. 76 BV, 85% units. Done. Trumpet ejected. We already see that. Queenie ejected. So there's the dragon. There's Queenie. There's Silver Eagle. Zinger's kind of running forward. Alright. We want to get into minimum range on hard case. We might actually want to start moving forward because those LRMs have a minimum range of 6. Which means up close, this thing kinda sucks. Does have 4 medium lasers, but 2 of them are rear facing. So we are in an advantage to actually run air gun forward, but not yet. I want to see what else happens. The awesome is just a brick of armor in water. It does not need to move. It is perfectly happy where it is. Hopscotch, decent amount of armor, lots of lasers, really likes the heat there. Stay still. You always have partial cover in water. That's an important thing to note. Alright, got a gun. Oh, look at this hard case. Right there. Boom. Now we do have minimum range on some of our weapons with air gun, the PPCs, but I think we're still doing it. Banana Peel. 1, 2. Can you do that? Yes. That gives you 1 TMM. Gets you in position to kick Kevlar. And you're aggressive. You'd want to do that. There we go. Queenie, destroyed by ejection. Kevlar, hurting. 1 total hit. Kept trying to stand up and failed. Took more hits to the legs. It's not going anywhere. And Banana Peel's going to go for it. In the meantime... what is it actually like at? So let's hold the mouse over. Let's take a look at its stats here. Right leg's almost gone. The rest of it's in actually decent shape. It's just the leg that's hurting. Torso twist. I do think... no, let's do it. She's aggressive. She's going to go after the same buddy, the same friend. And overheat. Yeah, overheats. Good shot. We're doing it. Awesome. Boom. Awesome. Are you going to be awesome? Are you going to shoot at Galileo? Try to slow Galileo down? 58% chance? Yes, you are. Done. We're going to go back to hopscotch here. Alright, Sherry, hopscotch. I think Trumpet, Stitch, Galileo. We need to start working on hard case here. We need to start cracking it open, so we're going to actually Alpha Strike. And our gun, well... oh, yeah. 52% chance. He's still 52% chance in this range. So, yeah, we're going to do it. Medium lasers and LB10 on solid shot. There you go. And then your negative heat. So you can overheat next turn. Done with all shots. Allies, nothing to report. The Pike support vehicle Daring hits Banana Peel for a bit. Banana Peel's in a Crusader. Crusaders are a brick of armor with some guns. And the armor's starting to wear thin, but I think we're still in good shape. Banana Peel hits Kevlar and the rifleman there, but not all that much to report. Oh, we do have a critical hit on the foot on the right leg. Kevlar is not in good shape. I don't think Kevlar's not making it off the map, I'll tell you that much. Awesome PPCs at Galileo. We hit with one of them on the left arm. The armor's stripped, but no critical. Our ally Thunderbolt goes after forward. That's sort of the guy that's running forward. What do you know? And not much to actually report about the damage here. Rifleman shoots back. Cordana Banana Peel is taking a lot of damage, but still standing so far. We do have some damage from Hopscotch against that nasty longbow. The big bad is taking some punishment, but not much. So that is, longbows are 85 tons. They are a brick of armor with missiles. That's all they are. And it's going to be a bit to crack here. Yeah, here, see the brick of armor with missiles is shooting back at our allies and wrecking house a little bit. Got a gun, shoots at longbow, hits the head, excellent, but it makes its consciousness roll. So got to get it some more head hits before it actually starts being effective, but it's taking some damage. Ally falls, longbow doesn't. But here we go. Physical attack phase. Our gun is definitely going to kick on a 4. 98% chance because he is a natural born pilot. Awesome. Can you punch? Yes, you can punch with one arm against that guy's leg. There you go. Rifleman does hit 12 damage to the ZT. 18 armor left on the awesome. Marauder does hit 50 damage to the left leg. 13 armor remaining. So on and so forth. Gambit Raven says, been toying with the idea of a narrative tournament with a king of the planet take and hold spots on the world map. So my input there would be, I wouldn't call it a tournament. Call it a narrative event. I don't know if you've ever heard of, there've been in the past and hopefully later this year, worldwide events in BattleTech. They're kind of sort of narrative structured events. You might want to look into them. The moment you call something a tournament, it implies competition, implies prizes, and there is... I'm a firm believer. I love narrative BattleTech. I love competitive BattleTech. And while they're not a complete dichotomy, there is something to be said about avoiding combining them too much, because narrative play isn't always balanced. Narrative play tends to be, if someone shows up who's a cutthroat competitive player, for most narrative formats, they can abuse the heck out of it, and they're just going to show up and raffle stomp win. So the moment you have a narrative tournament with big prizes, you have to be very careful in how you structure it and how you play it to avoid just kind of sweat score feels bad type plays. Now, if you're doing an actual competitive thing, applying too much narrative can do that same kind of balancing issue. The way I'd phrase it is, if there's a prize or just a significant prize, it's going to be skew competitive, and you need to really plan on balancing that. If you are doing it narrative, call it an event. Don't call it a tournament. Play for fun, set things up, encourage people to make weird and wacky lists, and you'll definitely have a fun time. Just think about what your goals are, what type of play you want to encourage. There's certain keywords and there's certain lists, sort of building an organizational principles you can bring into that to really influence and help you reach your goals. All right. In any case, the awesome punches the leg. Does get a punch to the leg. Was kicked. Doesn't fall over. And falling over in water would be really bad. So it's great that our awesome stands up. All right. Everybody gains a little bit of heat, but there's nothing too much to report other than banana peel, which is at 9. 9 is not a good number. 8 or more is when the heat effects really start to hurt. Don't be afraid to overheat, though. That's a big thing in BattleTech. You have a heat scale. Use it strategically, and you'll be better off than just not using it. And looks like we did win initiative on a tiebreaker. It is round 5. Or is it round 6? It's round 5. So we still have a few more rounds before our allies show up, but I don't think we're going to need them. They're already at 68%. We're still at 93. The Crusaders being hurt, that's the only thing we have that's really suffering. And guess what? We have 2 more at home. We have 2 more Crusaders at home. And they're not even Temu Crusaders. They're just Crusaders. Alright, the awesome. I think we do want to turn you. And that's it. Hopscotch, also gonna turn you. Yeah, I spent a lot of time organizing, planning, and playing BattleTech. I have here locally, we have anywhere between like a regular competitive league of about 8 to 12 players, depending on the season. We have about 20 players who regularly show up to our sort of salvage events and whatnot. So we have a pretty active scene here, and yeah, it's a big part of my free time is BattleTech. Anyway, where was I? Crusader, Hopscotch. Alright, let's let our allies move. And our allies have moved all their moves, so never mind. Alright. Banana Peel, you can't get any closer to hard case. Let's send you forward. You want to chase people. And Ergan. You want to go after Hardcase. Hardcase took a kick to the... Oh, damage to both legs. So it doesn't actually matter all that much which side you end up on. We're going to end up here. I'm not worried about immobile Kevlar here shooting me in the back. But if I stop here, I will be able to automatically hit in the left leg kicking Hardcase, which I think will puncture. And we want to go after the legs. That's what we've decided here. Yep. Kevlar blacks out. So sadly, our allies are going to be shooting at Kevlar. I wonder... Bot commands display. So there is a sort of like a bot command that you can try to send priority target. We want... Rifleman ID 14. What is the ID of forward here? So this is where we gotta check things. Unit ID 16. I pointed out with the mouse, but if I move the mouse, that information box will go away. So you can see in the second line of text over here, just above the big red text, I'm pointing at my screen with my hand, like you could actually see that I'm pointing at my screen with my hand. Hello. And it's clear, it's this thing of like, I have my second monitor over here, which I turn like I'm talking to you guys on the monitor, even though I should be looking at the camera when I'm talking to you, and I'm pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm doing. Just instinct. I don't know why, but in any case, just above the big red text, Draconis Combine up for ID 16. So we want to tell our allies priority ID 16 riflemen. So integrated allies, and we are going to sell that to the ground reinforcements that are coming in. So there we go. Because that might have stopped Lever from shooting at Kevlar if I'd done that early. But too late now. And you know what? We have Flame and Zinger and Galileo. I don't think they're going to escape before our allies get here, so we'll figure that out in just a second. Now, we're going to shoot with the Awesome first, since kind of the biggest guns on the board for us. Now, Ford is at 0, 72% chance. Galileo is faster, and I believe not particularly hurt. Let's take a look. Yeah, only in the left arm. 42% chance. I still want to do that. I still want to damage that before it gets, because it would be nice to have a perfect score. Alright, hard case, I'm not actually going to shoot at, because I just want to keep kicking it. Because if I kick it and disable it, it's clean salvage. So we're going to shoot it forward here. PPC, PPC. And what's it like for damage? Yeah, not particularly open, so let's do some medium lasers on it. There we go. Done firing. Next we have, so this is Banana Peel. Because there's an unconscious foe next to it, when it's defaulted to attacking it, you have the aim shot thing pop up. We're going to ignore that because we're not going to shoot at the immobile enemy. We're going to shoot into the back of hard case. Even though we're kind of overheating. One laser into the back of hard case. Actually, no. Hard case has a head hit already, so we are going to missile shot into the back of hard case. There we go. Cluster rolls, hoping for that head hit. Gambit Raven, I love coming up with games that push players to try mechs they are not used to or would never use unless in this context. Yeah, that's definitely fun. So for the Catalyst Game Labs worldwide events, they often have the event organizers use pre-made lists. So what happens is the actual event organizer provides all of the miniatures, all of the lists, all of everything. People just sort of show up and play, and the lists are made of kind of like interesting dynamic forces. So if you're trying to do like a narrative tournament, I don't know how much time and resources you have to invest, but for a narrative event, even sort of like a narrative structured tournament similar to that, that's something to look into. I know just recently, up towards me, there was a narrative event at Flower City Comic Con in Rochester called The Battle for Rochester. Sort of like a local store and organizer kind of built this event themed around Succession War battle for the planet Rochester, sort of stage in Rochester. People could sign up for either the Davian or the Draconis Combine forces. There was various missions. There was a fight for a city. There was in Classic and Alpha Strike. Really cool thing to look up. I don't know where the publication thing is. If you join the Odysseus Legion Discord, there should be a link on the YouTube. Ask for it. Somebody can help provide you with those resources if you're looking for something to help you, give you some themes and ideas for that. In any case, back to MegaMek. We have Hopscotch trying to make shots here. Default would be to try to shoot hard case, but I want that salvage, so we're going to torso twist, and we're going to shoot forward because I don't care about rifleman salvage. Done. There's all my shots. We have Lever shooting at Kevlar. Destroy the right leg. Oh, this is the unconscious guy. Boo. Loss of salvage. Boo. Awesome. It hits the osel. Gets critical hit on the hand. Whatever. Banana Peel takes a critical hit to the LRM-15 from AC 5, but again, we have 2 more Crusaders at home. We can just pop Banana Peel in and out. Alright, from the Marauder, PPC at forward, upper arm hit. Hit. Nothing too serious to report. We're just chopping off armor. Hopefully somebody else can peel through. We have a critical hit fired at our gun, but we skip it using edge. No edge remaining. Alright, Thunderbolt is shooting at Kevlar. Why are you still shooting at Kevlar? You're supposed to be shooting at forward. I use the AI bot commands. Come on. Just destroying salvage. Just taking money out of my pocket. Galileo shoots at Banana Peel. Some more damage. Banana Peel not looking too hot. We have no head hit, but we have some rear damage hits against hard case from Banana Peel, speaking of. Now the longbow, now the thing is, longbow has a thing called flippy arms, or I don't think that's the technical term, but everyone just calls it flippy arms, where if there's no like functioning arms on a mech, if it's just sort of 2 weapons pods attached to the shoulders, they can, see if I get my hands in here, they can kind of just like reverse and fire backwards. So if you see here how Hardcase is facing this direction towards the awesome, zoom in a little bit more here, zoom in towards the awesome, it actually ends up firing backwards at Banana Peel. Oh no, I didn't get to that part into the damage where I saw that she took gyro hits, but it's displayed on the map right now. Banana Peel lost her gyro and is about to fall down. Can't say I'm too surprised. It seems to be right up her alley, but yes. The big, nasty longbow fired backwards and apparently is possibly eliminated Banana Peel, but I think we're about to see that. Here we go. Ooh, and it's swarm missiles. Gross. No, it's an ammo explosion. Auto eject. Okay, we lost that Crusader. So we had 2 more Crusaders at home. We had 2 more. Now we have 1. This Crusader is lost. Okay. Oh. This is what happens with swarm missiles. 8. So if we'll go scroll up here. Crusader Banana Peel must make a piloting skill check. Yeah, okay. Where is it? Critical hit, explodes equipment, edge used for reroll, 0 edge remaining. It still moves on. Alright. LRM-20 swarm at Crusader needs 8, rolls 11, 12 swarm missiles hit, right? Which means there's 8 missiles that continue on. So we'll scroll down. Here it is. 8 missiles continue. LRM-20 swarm at pilot private Gordana Banana Pindusi needs 8, rolls 2, misses. So those missiles could have continued on and just hit my pilot while she's ejected. That's horrible. I hate that. I'm glad it didn't happen because I still don't want Banana Peel to die. The 8 missiles continue. They continue on and hit Queenie in the DCMS. So the missiles... Swarming missiles don't care, ally or enemy. That's kind of their weakness. They will just continue on, and that is a team kill right there. That right here is a team kill. There we go. LM-20 at Crusader, miss. 20 missiles continue, and they hit Kevlar. These 5 rolls 8. 20 swarm missiles hit. Oh my gosh, all 20 missiles hit. Oh, and it's destroyed. That's 2 kills. 2 kills on that longbow. On hard whatever. What is it? Hard case. Hard case just got 2 team kills. 3 kills though, because it got the Crusader. It missed my pilot, killed an allied pilot, and destroyed that rifleman. Wow. Wow. I gotta kick it. There we go. Kick. Punch. Punch. Alright. Physical attacks for a longbow, hard case. Kicked at the awesome. 1 in 6 chance of kicking the head. 17 damage. That could have killed the awesome. That's not nice. But here we go. 15 damage to the left leg. Armor destroyed. No critical. But this is what we want here. It has no more armor on the left leg. So we're going to chase it down and keep kicking it in that leg. Because we want to salvage that thing. Done. Alright. We're still in really good shape. We lost a Crusader, but we have backup Crusaders. Banana Peel did not die. They're at 59%. We're about to sort of win. If we're trying to play narratively here, I don't think they would just up and surrender. They're already trying to flee to the north. So we can claim victory at 50%, but I think we can only salvage what we destroy. So we do not want to just end it right at 50% just yet. So I'm going to let our allies move first because they suck and I don't care about them. No, because we have more tactical decisions to make. We have more tactical abilities and more important for us to figure out what's going on here. All right, Gordana, you're going to move there. Oh, no. Gordana, you're going to move forward here and try to get to this hole so you're out of shots. Okay. Then Hopscotch. Hopscotch, I think you're good to stay still. I think you're good to keep staying still. Awesome. You've been getting kicked. Hard case is right in front of you. Do we have backup changing elevations enabled? We do not. That might be an optional rule to implement. But awesome. We're going to move you out of the water and turn around to get back in the water next turn, just so you avoid the risk of being kicked in the face. Because you do not want to be kicked in the face. Definitely not by an 85-ton assault mech. And apparently we lost initiative and hard case hasn't moved yet. So there's nothing we can necessarily do. That's particularly advantageous here for our gun. But we can kind of set him up to move in a way next turn and build 1 TMM. So we're going to do that. And we are in hard case's rear. So while we're not in the left and right, we can't get the kick to keep weakening those legs. One of those legs is wide open if you look. Yeah. The right leg is almost gone. The left leg is not doing too well. So I think we're going to torso twist and we are going to alpha strike into the back. Gonna build some heat here, but this could deal with it. We are in the right side here from hopscotch to forward. Don't think that's the way we want. We want to deal with daring. Daring here in the pike support vehicle as 3 AC2s and 2 SRM2s. And well, let's give it some hurt. Done. Our awesome. Come to about Permafrost, Galileo, 28% chance, Zinger, 28% chance that we're in here. Permafrost, 28% chance. Hard case, 42% chance. That's technically better. And Stitch, that is mechanized hover platoon. I'm gonna let my allies deal with that. We're going to aim for forward. Forward, what's your damage profile like? Yeah, you're hurting. Now, because the awesome is no longer in the water, it is going to start overheating, but we are okay with that because it's probably going to move right back into the water next turn. And Banana Peel Banana Peel is just a person on the battlefield with a little handgun. That's not going to do anything against anyone, so skip. Let's see what firing does. Alright, we have our gun shooting at the big nasty longbow hard case here. Head hit, that's 2 head hits. Critical hit on sensors. Now, it's not the cockpit. Cockpit would be what we want to hit because that just kills the pilot. But sensors means it's got a +2 modifier, so its shooting is 2 worse. So that's a really good hit. Now, a second head hit makes it more likely to fall asleep. This is all good stuff. All good stuff. Nothing significant. We lost an LRM-20. Not overly concerned about its actual guns. I mean, obviously, now its gun can't shoot at us, but we're up close. Ostrok hits the support vehicle. Nothing too interesting. Our ally in the Thunderbolt shoots at hard case, strips some armor off. Nothing major to report. Our awesome hits the right leg of forward, gets into the internal structure, but no critical hit. Alright, the big bad longbow shoots at Lever, the sort of disaffected stooge of the 3 rifleman stooges. It takes some damage, but nothing major. Oh, look at this. LRM-20 swarm at rifleman, Lever. Needs 10, roll 6, misses. 20 missiles continue. LRM-20 at longbow, hard case. He's shooting, he ends up hitting himself. Needs 10, roll 6, misses. Finds new target. Goes back to Lever. Needs 10, rolls 11. 12 swarm missiles hit. Look at all the 8 missiles continue. The missiles continue on and try to hit hard case. Needs 10, rolls 4. The remaining 8 missiles find no new target. Just a circle jerk of missiles just swarming. Wow. Wow. Shoots the enemy, misses the enemy, almost hits yourself, misses yourself, hits the enemy. Missiles are left over, almost hits yourself again. Bit ridiculous. Alright, here we have kicks. Hard kiss gets kicked. Loses his left leg from Lever. Okay. Lever's doing the work for us. Oh, 3 total hits, 7 to stay conscious. Rolls 10 successful. Darn. So close. So close. But it lost the leg. It's not going anywhere. It can't escape. They're at 49%. I got the salvage I wanted. I can claim that longbow. So I'm going to. This is going to be the last round. / victory. Now I'm going to have to play out this last turn because I didn't say to skip all phases on a force victory. So we're not out of the woods just yet. Oh, it ejected. Hard case ejected. Boom. Fantastic. So we salvage that. Got a gun and some long-range weapons. Just gonna skip movement. I'm not overly worried about it. Hopscotch. Turn around. Awesome. You can't actually run into liquid, so you're gonna just do that. Boom. Easy peasy. Gordana, hide in your little hidey hole. See? Destroyed by ejection. Yeah, blacks out. 5 total hits because it tries to stand up and fails. Oof. It didn't stand up. It just ejected because it lost a leg. Fantastic. Alright. Hey there, gun. Who are you going to shoot? You have 2 targets here. You have the rifleman and the mechanized hover platoon. That's why you shoot the rifleman. 2 PPCs of the rifleman. There you go. No use in spending ammo. Yeah, shoot at the Zinger with your large lasers. Just do it. Awesome. I don't think you're going to take out that Urban Mech with just 3 PPCs. What's the 2 hit here on the rifleman? 42%? Do it. And banana peel is just a little rifle done. Here we go. Hits. Left arm destroyed. A couple other hits. Nothing major. Report. Center torso. Critical hit. Nothing serious. Nothing serious against us. Alright. Boom. That is a first mission successful. Yes, I want to save salvage. Give me a second here, guys. Done. Scenario template states that you always retain battlefield control. Do we get battlefield control? Yes. Alright, so total loss on the Crusader. We have backup Crusaders. I am totally okay with that. By losing the Crusader that we had extras of, our other mechs took almost no damage whatsoever. So you know what, Banana Peel, you might kind of have sucked otherwise, but you are sponge. If you hadn't already earned the nickname Banana Peel, you might have earned the nickname Sponge. Banana Peel took some hits, but everybody else is okay. No big deal. All right, now what escaped? That rifleman and that Ostel did not escape. That's for sure. I'm going to go ahead and say everything else escaped. Not the urban mech. The urban mech is too slow. Don't care about anything else. And we want to salvage that longbow. That puts it 45%. Yes. So we want to sell some other stuff. There we go. There's money. There's the longbow that we want. Perfect. Beautiful. And we do have plenty of space for our guards and prisoners. Longbow wasn't us. I don't even remember who did what for the Locust. The Locust ejected, and I'm pretty sure it was Ergon. So we're going to go ahead and give him that. Longbow wasn't us. Ooh. I'm going to give one each to Ergon and the awesome. You know what? Let's go with one to Hopscotch. I don't know exactly who did what, but I want to assign that. Now, story 50%. Sure. Ta-da! Finish. Banana Peel was wounded. Issue awards. Done. Alright. Always go to the infirmary. And we have a prisoner with a lot of hurt. Send them there. Repair bay. Let's make sure they're there. Order parts. Ta-da! Personnel. Let's go to Mech Warriors and check experience. 44. Excellent. Sherry, what can you upgrade? Spend XP. Current skills. Gunnery. Nope. Piloting. Nope. Never mind. She's apparently not all that bright and needs some extra experience to improve skills. So she's not quite there. She's 6 away. And I don't think anybody else is even close. I mean, Ergon might be able to upgrade... Yeah, command. Ooh, he's pretty close to upgrading leadership or strategy. Alright, time 7:28 here. Alright, let's do some repairs. Let's continue on. Alright, we lost. Let's go to the hangar here. So we have refitting 30 days left on here. We have this Crusader, which is inoperable. Are we setting to salvage this thing? Yes, we are. We were stripping it to be able to repair our other one. So now we're going to switch it to repair. We took all the parts off, and now we're putting all the parts back on. And we should try to assign a tech to this longbow to repair it. Alright. Let's keep going here. double check the compare base, see if there's anything. Here we go. This wasn't being done by... Hey, there we go. This wasn't being done by the automatic system, so... Is it done? Nope. They failed the roll. Try you. Nope. Maybe a facility for this. Let's try that. There you go. Oop, deep raid defense is today. Alright, so we have a scenario here. Let's take a look in our hangar. What do we have? Here we go. We have an undamaged crusader. We're going to assign a pilot. Gordana, you're going back out here. Right back out there. Right back in a crusader. And area of operations, deep raid defense. This will be our second mission for the night. Let's see what it is here. Deep raid defense. As always, take a look at the weather beforehand. Know what we're doing in here. We are in daylight, clear, moderate gale, heavy fog. Oh, heavy fog is gross. I have 0 rerolls. Oh. My dog is here. Alright. Oh wow. Okay, here we go. Oh no. Air cavalry, warrior helicopters. That is not bombers. You have an allied dropship. I'm guessing we're defending a dropship here, so let's find out. The enemy has launched a deep strike behind our lines, targeting one of our dropships before it can take off. This is a calculated assault meant to cripple our logistics and deny us critical mobility. Your mission is to defend the dropship until it can launch or eliminate at least 50% of the attacking force to force the retreat. Expect long-range bombardment. The enemy is likely to deploy artillery strikes to weaken our defenses before engaging directly. You must counter their firepower while maintaining a strong perimeter around the dropship. Close the distance where possible. Neutralize their artillery assets to prevent them from overwhelming our position before liftoff. We will control the battlefield at the end of the engagement. Enemy force of VTOLs coming in low over the horizon. Don't let this be the apocalypse. That's kind of a bit ridiculous. VTOLs are not going to cause an apocalypse. Except there's double message here. Interesting. Op4 markings indicate a training cadre. Interesting. Alright. Let's let it load up. Alright, first things first. Something I keep forgetting and I really need to set as a default setting. Go back into the MegaMek here. This little toggle. Skip all phases when a force victory occurs. So when I go enter/victory, it ends the game there and I don't have to play out the turn. So we want that. And we are going to go 55. We're going to just go ahead and enable that. They're going to surrender when to destroy the majority of their combat ability. So, okay. Double check this. We start at the south. Dropship starts at the center. It's a Union. And look at all of those helicopters. And their general enemies all starting to the north. So they start the opposite side of us. Alright, it's a desert map, so it should be a pretty clear path to get there. Alright. Let's do this. Mission 2. Let's deploy. Oh boy. Woo. We have to try to get to the center here. So let's take a look at the best path. Honestly, so rubble is about the same effect as changing a level. Or rough. It's not rubble, it's rough. Big difference. They both start with R, but one has a chance to make your pilot fall down. I think heading straight through here and up. It's going to be the easiest path. So let's have everybody get a little bit more mobile. You'll start there. Awesome. Want you to have that path. And the Ostrock is the most mobile. Start there. Boom. Alright, this is heavy fog. It doesn't show that heavy fog means movement is going to be severely restricted. I don't know why, in theory, they'd be attacking in heavy fog. It's kind of a bit ridiculous. I'm going to turn off the borders here so you can see the reckless button. In heavy fog, you can move recklessly to have your regular movement, but you have to make a piloting skill roll. Now, Irgun has natural aptitude piloting, so he does not care. Everybody else, now Hopscotch is a piloting 4, so I'm okay with having her make a piloting roll of 4. Everybody else is kind of out of luck. They're going to take forever to get here. Nobody's in range. Ooh, AC2 at Union. Oh no. And we're not going to kick each other. There's going to be a lot of just skipping phases and things as we go along here, because there's going to be a lot of just dun 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 dun. Well, obviously Ergun is in a good position to get stuff done, because look at those 3s. Easy peasy. Hopscotch, you are a piloting 4, so yeah, 4 done. And then awesome. And Banana Peel. You know, Banana Peel, you are reckless, even though you shouldn't be. We're gonna do it. Because you would. And nobody matched. Done. Skipping shots. Skipping the potential to punch and kick ourselves. Quote, heavy fog, or what I call the John Cena strategy. Yes, being invisible. Actually, I don't know know much of anything about John Cena except for the joke of him in camouflage, or you don't expect him. And the VTOLs have arrived. Now the VTOLs seem to kind of ignore fog, probably. So good for them. Remember right, warrior attack helicopters don't really have much in the way of gun. AC2 SRM4. Oh, that's more than I expected. But, ooh, it's a 5.6. Okay. Well. Alright. Range, high-low, LV10. We definitely want cluster on these things, because it could potentially just... Yeah, look at that. 3 gunnery skill, heavy fog, blowing sand, +2 attacker range, +4 target move, +1 target was airborne. Ouch. But look at this. Hi, Derek. Yeah. Last mass mission was being pretty kind to me. We lost our Crusader, but we have 2 backup Crusaders. One of them being customized. So, you know, in terms of Hopscotch being effective, she just soaked up bullets, and all of our other mechs were barely untouched. So, game's pretty kind there. This time around, the game is, in theory, kind to us, but it's also being annoying. You know, it's like, hey, do you want ice cream? It's like, yeah, I love ice cream. And then it's like, here's some pickle and peanut butter ice cream. And you're like, thanks. Like, this isn't a bad thing for me. It's an annoying thing because I would have preferred just vanilla ice cream. Like, I don't want pickle peanut butter ice cream, but like, okay, this doesn't hurt me. It's kind of annoying. Like these massive swarms of warrior attack helicopters here for some reason. Alright. And again, yeah, 12s. Where's the medium lasers on 12s? Oh, your SRM4 is fixed. Excellent, but don't care. 11s. 2 PPCs on 11. We'll do that. We'll try to kill something. Alright, and then we have... Yeah, obviously no shot. Obviously no shot. Yeah. Let's get firing. Hey! Machine gun hits. Rotor damaged. Okay. There we go. LB-10 cluster is going to just... It's going to do some nasty work against the warrior attack helicopters. Like double rotor damage, 0 armor remaining. That thing's almost dead from 1 shot. But beyond that, they're not gonna... Here we go. Union. Unions have a lot of guns. PPC, large laser, medium laser, AC5, AC5, medium laser, LRM-20, LRM-20. Yeah. So I saw in the mission profile that it had like airborne enemies, like enemy, DCMS airborne assets, and like, oh no, am I skipping this mission? I'm not fighting bombers, right? Airgun knows enough to like tell his employers it's like, it's your job to provide air support. We're not going out into a field with bombers. Like, it's just like we can't take those losses. We're not sacrificing ourselves, yada yada. But it's just a giant force of warriors. Like, can't say no. It's annoying. All right. And we don't need to kick any buildings or anything, so we're gonna skip all of that. And here we go. Damage from blowing sand. Oh, there's blowing sand that damages them. Okay, so weather effects are helping us. So I guess it's, here's some pickle and peanut butter ice cream. It's really hot. You better eat it before it melts. And you just kind of go, I'm just going to let it melt. I'm going to sit here and kind of like drip it off pretending I'm eating it and not touch it. You guys tell me right now, how many of you would actually try and eat pickle peanut butter ice cream? Just off the top of my head, that's the example it came up with, but would you actually eat that? Yep. Duck hunt. Got our guns on a duck hunt. Alright, reckless. We're gonna move forward here. That's still a walk. We're good. Hopscotch. Stay still. And the awesome, I mean, you really have no choice but to try and move forward because they're kind of like piddly worthless there. Just don't fall. Banana peel. Ooh, you would recklessly run up there, that's for sure. That's what you do. Looks like you did it. Hey. Alright. Oh no. There's no duck huts in my arcs. Wait, there's one. Boom. On 6. Done. Hopscotch. You've got some shots. Oh, my dog is sleeping on the bed behind me. Love that thing. Alright. We're gonna go damage high-low. And we're just gonna try to not overheat, because it's not worth overheating shooting on 11s. We're still gonna shoot. 13s. Or 12s. Well, you can shoot on 12s. YOLO. So Gambit Raven, you would eat pickle peanut butter ice cream just because. You know what? I kind of applaud that. I kind of do applaud that. Derek, you try the pickle peanut butter ice cream. Yeah. To say that no normal person do that, I'm a Smoked Jaguar fan. Are you trying to imply that either nobody would be a Smoked Jaguar fan of the right mind, or just it takes the kind of person who would eat that ice cream to like Smoked Jags? I have friends that are Smoked Jaguar fans, and I feel like you're insulting them. I also gotta remember to look at the camera and not the older monitor when I'm trying to talk to you guys. Still getting used to this whole streaming thing. Alright. Oh, missed with the LB. Needs a 6, rolls 3. Oh. Alright, anything else interesting to report here? Man, they're just plinking away at that unit, aren't they? There we go. But the Union's fighting back. Can I punch the helicopter? No. Darn. Gambit Raven says, every time you miss a shot, this is like Air Gun doing the Duckhunt shot. Every time you miss a shot, Alaric Ward pops up and laughs like the dog in the game. I mean, if you ever... That would make me break the console. Alaric Ward is just not a fun, nice character. Here we go. Damage from blowing sand. Yes. Three crippled. They're already... Well, the AirCav team. Team 2. They're at 90, we're at 99. So we're slowly working through. Like, if there was a character in BattleTech that would act as that dog the worst, for me, the most annoying character, I'm a Jade Falcon fan. I love, like, it's my clan, it's my go-to, but I hate Malvina Hazen. I think she's a badly written, just badly implemented character as like conceptually I have problems with her and else she was like written and implemented. And so if there was a BattleTech, universe character that would pop up and laugh at me to hurt me the most, it would have to be Malvina Hazen. Absolutely have to be. Alright, Air Gun, you need to turn around so you can duck hunt. Hopscotch, you're just gonna stay still. We need to stay still and try to shoot these things. They're not gonna be shooting at us. They're gonna be shooting at the dropship. See? Won't even fleed because flees because it was crippled. Here we go. Perfect duck hunt. We're gonna get 5s. So we're gonna actually primary target on 10s. The already weakened warrior attack helicopter, and then the secondary target, the one that's less hurt, to see if we can do that. There we go. Done. Hopscotch. Can you even shoot those with your large laser on 12s? Sure. Same here. 12s. Yeah, let's fire this one to see what happens. Derek, I was leaning towards the built different conclusion about Jaguar fans myself and figured that you'd go that way too. Okay, that's you know what? Fair. Fair. Pickle peanut butter ice cream is made different. Jaguar fans are built different. That's a good conclusion. Yeah, and Melvina, I want to believe there was a good idea there, like the Falcons are the Clan of Pride, so she would represent broken pride, but the implementation was disappointing. Everything about Melvina is if they made a character and made her to be just the most cartoonishly evil villain character possible. I mean, it's out of like a child's fairy tale, that ridiculously just evil for evil's sake done by that character. It's just not. And just like the ineffectual leadership, dropping a warship on your own capital, and the kind of economic horrors that would produce. You know, there's something that's not talked about a lot in BattleTech is the concept of soft power, right? In the clans, other castes would have soft power and the ability to just sort of, you know, work stoppages or, you know, misappropriation of goods. You know, if you've ever had a job before where it's like, hey, you take your 15, you turn it into a 16. That's soft power. Somebody could try to reprimand you if you get caught, but these little things of like taking an extra bathroom break slows the workday down. Oh, you know, you send out an email just after lunch, not before lunch, but like, or just before lunch to get the delay. There's things you can strategically do to make things take longer, even if it isn't an actual rebellion. Everything Malvina did would cause such an uproar, even if it's not civil disobedience, just in terms of soft power manipulation of the other castes that actively hate her, that would cause a complete collapse of the structure. Like any person with a, I hate that whole story. I hate that whole thing. You could get me to rant about that for way too long, but we're not here for me to rant about characters in BattleTech. We're here to play MegaMek. And ooh, we do actually have shots of the LRMs on a attack helicopter. We're doing it. We're doing it. Done. Is it overkill? Yes. Do I want to overkill these little doohickey doos? Yes. There we go. PPC, 10 damage right side, 1 dead. Rotor damage, other one severely hurt. The Union's just taking planks, 'cause that's what a Union does. There we go. Another warrior dead from the Union. Lots and lots of guns. Union's just blasting stuff. We do not want to kick the buildings. All done. Alright, it is round 6. We still have 2 more rounds before our allies come in, and they are in the southwest. We're at 98. The whole enemy team is at 77%. Air Cav is at 28%. They have 3 out of 8 units remaining. Yeah, they're kind of they're toast. Duckhunt time might be done already. So Ergan, you want to move into position to defend the dropship. Quite frankly, we're in heavy fog. We just need to get into a spot where we can stand still. And Hopscotch, you are a 4 piloting, so you can actually... No, you do not want to run through that building. You do not want to run through that building. So you're going to end up there, yes. Ooh. And Banana Peel. Yeah, you stay still and you try to attack that helicopter. That's an excellent point, Gambit Raven said. Malvina died because they wanted us to root for Clan Wolf. Yeah, the cartoonish evil of Malvina is contrasted by, like, Clan Wolf, where the moment Jade Falcon warriors left their occupied space, everyone up and revolted. But in Wolf space, they left and like, oh, they were such nice rulers to us. We're not going to up and rebel against the Wolf Empire. La di da. Oh gosh, it was. Yeah. Yes. Correct, Derek. We're still early in the lifetime of Aiden, Marth, and Joanna. Done. Heck, Ergon may have known Joanna probably not aiding in any kind of sense. So, in case you guys missed it or didn't read it, the entire concept here is Ergun, in the Marauder here. He is a Clan Jade Falcon watch agent who made his way to the Inner Sphere to create this mercenary force because the Jade Falcons did not trust the Wolf Dragoons for good reason. And so they wanted to send their own spy, but they did it as an individual agent with a wad of cash because they didn't want the other clans to know. So there's the entire concept. And that's why Ergun is our main character with superior abilities and his own custom Marauder with 2 PPCs, LB-10, 2 medium lasers. Now, and double heat sinks, if I remember correctly. We are going to shoot at Ski-Doo. Ski-Doo the Vulcan. That is a 5.6, so not even really a threat, but also that's a shot at 14s, even for this pilot. So I don't know if he has any shots. So we're going to go hit the next target button and see if there's anything within range. And the answer is no. Skip firing. Hopscotch, you can kind of turn, and if you have anything in your arms, which you don't because you're an Ossoul, skip firing. Awesome, everything's in minimum range and high TMM, so no shots, skip firing, and here we go. Banana Peel, you are the only one with shots at all. And interesting enough, this warrior attack helicopter is on level 4. You are sitting on level 1 or 2 levels high, so sadly, if it was level 3, should be able to punch a helicopter, and that would, if she punched a helicopter, that'd be victory for me for this thing altogether. I'd love to see her punch a helicopter, but she can't. So left arm, you're just gonna fire what guns we can at it. Done. All right, so the Union's still doing okay. The Union is just a ball of armor. Crusader made some shots but missed. You know, we got the 1 medium laser that damaged the rotor. And the Union is just blasting away to everything and killing some more things. Then, yeah. Yeah, because if anyone was here last week where we went and tried to attack a drop ship, boy, those things have a lot of guns. Boy, they do. It is tricky to go up and attack them. And alright, we are around 7. Allies come next turn. And whole team there at 71. Okay, Ergun, you definitely want to move up closer because nothing's in shooting range, but there you go. Hopscotch. Let's see how far you can move to get up closer. Yep, 4 and 4. Everybody's making their piloting rolls so far. Just gonna do and try to do that. There you go. 4 and 4. Do it. Yeah. Alright, Banana Peel. Your name's Banana Peel. Everybody else has been running through the frog and not falling down. Can you do it? And the answer is yes. Banana Peel doesn't slip and fall. Fantastic. And Ski-Doo has made their way into range of Ergun. Derek. Yeah, it took me so many tries to work out the okay way to fight a dropship. There's no good way other than chilling. No, there's none. Because it's a stationary target, you try to build a TMM. Partial coverage really doesn't work because it's always potentially going to be higher than you. So it's just a matter of trying to find partial cover that's high enough to absorb shots, maintaining a TMM, circling around it. Potentially try to maintain all of your shots against it in the same sort of arc, so you're hitting the same side and not dispersing your damage. But for the most part, the other thing is, dropships have a lot of long-range damage. They stay stationary and they're shooting at you. They are scary that way. And you'd start to think like, oh, let me get in closer. Let's fire all the guns. No, you want to stay long range because they are. You get up close, they have more big guns to shoot at you. And it's just, the closer you get to them, the deadlier they are. So, sure, they have a lot of long-range guns, and they will out-long range almost a lance of mechs, but it's still better off to bring 2 lances and shoot at long range. In any case, And our gun is going to shoot at Ski-Doo. Shoot Ski-Doo! Yeah, and I think the ballistic weapons are not affected by the fog. Yeah, if you look. Yeah, laser, blowing sand. Yeah, heavy fog, blowing sand. But if you look at the cluster weapon, no modifier. So we are going to take advantage of that. Now, sadly, we have a lot of lasers. This is a scenario where we wish we had fewer lasers. No shots from the awesome. Banana Peel has no line of sight on anything interesting. 11-15s, but that's a 16, so skip. I mean, honestly, in this kind of weird weather scenario, we might just be looking at the Union to do all the damage, because, I mean, look at it. It's got so many shots, it's just shooting at Ski-Doo. And then destroy the left arm. Your gun got a section destroyed, and here we go. Both arms destroyed. Critical hit on shoulder flamer, moving forward. Yep. Both arms destroyed, but arms are not exactly the most consequential things to get rid of. It means if it falls down, it can't really stand up, but... Alright. Allies are popping in. Get a gun, just stay still. Hopscotch, just stay still. Let them come to us. No. Alright, Hopscotch. You're the one I'm afraid of falling, so let's see if you do it. I think everybody made it again. Excellent. We're doing well on our piloting rolls. Okay, now we have Savate. This is a Whitworth 5-6. Yeah, these are not particularly skilled opponents here. Alright, what is Death Angel? Death Angel is a Grasshopper 5-6. I think somebody who's a 5'6", kind of like a training pilot, a brand new guy. All right, Gambit Raven, thank you for joining us. I hope your kid it gets better. I'm sorry that they got hurt at daycare. Have a great day or night. Anyway, so Death Angel, the trainee 5'6", like it just feels like some guy who's just really overconfident in themselves and just kind of a doofus. But Savate, we are going to shoot you with all the stuff. Done. Hopscotch, what do you got? Large laser in 12? Sure. Awesome. You can shoot a Death Angel at 14, so no you can't. And Banana Peel. You can shoot a Ski-Doo on 12s. 15s on 11. SRM's on 10. Sure. Let's do it. Done firing. And lots of guns for the Union, lots of misses, but the LM-20s hit and connect in a few places. Crusader does hit Ski-Doo, destroys the left torso. Uh-oh. Door for mech bay number 2 is destroyed. Yeah, Death Angel Kaisang has to be sarcastic, particularly because it's a grasshopper. I guess they can jump, so, like, sure. But if I was going to assign a pilot to any mech with the name Death Angel, it would not be a grasshopper. Dun dun dun. Don't know why they just sort of zooped around like that. Sorry, everybody got dizzy. Nothing I could have done. Alright, your gun. You stay still. Hey, Hopscotch, you stay still. Awesome. I do actually want you to move, and I gotta remember that pilot's name. It's Edith. There we go. Edith, you go forward. And Banana Peel. One more reckless move to get into that spot. Let's see if you can do it. 5 and 5. And succeed, succeed. Everybody succeeds. Nobody's fallen yet running through the fog. We are in the best position we can be in to try to defend this Union, which is still doing okay. Alright, we're going to keep popping shots up on Savate. Done. Hopscotch. Shoot at Skidoo. Oh, 1 second, guys. Dude, man, I just sneezed there. Awesome. Edith. Shooting on 12s or shooting on 10s. Let's shoot on 10s. Much better. Banana peel. You can shoot on 9s on Death Angel, so that's what you are going to do. Done. Alright. Bulldog. AC2s at a Union. Yeah, AC2s, like AC2s, you can outrange the Union, so you can kind of like sit there and plop and hope it doesn't have AC2s to shoot you, but also you're plinking at it for 2 damage. You run the risk of just running out of ammo at a certain point. PPC at Whitworth. Yeah, look at all these guns. Hey, ammo explosion on Death Angel. It's called Death Angel to, you know, sarcastic trainee, but definitely now Death Angel because it got exploded out of the mech into the sky. Possibly dead. Let's find out. Oh yeah, look at that. Woof. Goodness. That's a lot of hurt. That is an LRM-20 hitting a attack helicopter. That thing's dead. Death Angel does manage to actually hit the Union with a little piddly bound gun. The other gun shoots at Savate and destroys the right arm. Lots of arm destruction from your gun today. Or at least this mission. And Savate falls. Done. Alright. No need for physicals. Done, done. Alright, Team 2 is at 45.9. I set the target number at 55%. We are 0.9 short from victory. So, this is going to be the final turn. We're about to win. But let's see what damage we can wreak to make sure things... They're going to retreat, so I won't declare salvage against anything that can make it out of there. Oh, there's a Warhammer. Would have liked to salvage that, but there we go. I think everybody's just going to stay still. Make better shots in the fog. And here we go, Marauder. Savate again. Is that really your only real target? Yes, it is. Boop, boop. Not gonna waste the ammo. Done. Hopscotch. Boop. You can overheat a little bit to try to do that. Awesome. Yeah, go ahead. Make the shots. Done. Ta-da! And Whitworth Savate blacks out. Section destroyed. Lost the CT, so that's destroyed. Done. Skip melee. That should do it. Should anyway. Done. Or not. Well, no, I'm gonna hit / victory anyway because, yeah, let's take a look at the round report here. Team 1, BV remaining 97%. Team 2, BV remaining 40%. That is absolutely the victory condition. There we go. Done. Put up a little loading screen there while I deal with the saves. Save the GIF. Save the salvage. Alright. We always retain control of the battlefield, so we do. Effectively everything undamaged. Great. Nobody hurt. Great. Crippled did not escape. All of that definitely did escape. Warriors definitely didn't, so we're going to just sell what we can. Didn't capture anybody. Yeah. I'm gonna give Airgun at least one more kill. Grasshopper was definitely the dropship that killed that thing. So yeah. There it is. 8-10. Got our 2 games in. Not a bad. I mean, we lost our Crusader on the first mission, but then we gained a longbow and we had backup Crusaders. So I think overall this is an excellent 2 missions for the Emerald cast. So I am gonna head out. Thank you everybody who joined. Thank you everybody watching in the playlist. Feel free to like, comment, give me some sort of suggestion, things I can do better, sort of improvements. Like I said, I have the font as big as I possibly can make it. I am going to try to implement sort of like a zoom in where the mouse is so I can really show and highlight some of the text that scrolls through. MegaMek is kind of an interesting game to try to make visual appealing. I am really trying, so any advice, suggestions, like, comments, and everything. Yeah, looks like progress. Well, let's take a look here real quick and see. Yeah, Sherry, 47. She's 3 away from improvement. And yeah, my work schedule and everything is probably going to keep me away from Mondays for a while. I'll probably be switching over to Thursdays for a bit here while I figure things out. So have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining me.